All right, man. Back in the mix. It is trying to turn back cold. I've been having a lot of air conditioning stuff going on, so really hadn't been working on either one of the cars. Been enjoying the snowball. It is up, back, and going, firing on all cylinders, pulling great. Hindsight 2020. I had to drill and tap. Just looking back at it now, I probably should have just brake cleaned the whole head and let everything ran down and drained the oil, and honestly could have even left the filter on and just washed it all down, drained the oil, put fresh oil in it because I know it was metal shavings. I had to end up grinding down a steel insert. What did I do? I showed where I used the grease to try to keep down on the aluminum metal shavings while I was drilling, while I was tapping. And then I laid down paper towel. You can get the paper towel wet, like it tends to stick a lot better once it's wet. Wet the paper towels, put the paper towel down, and then grind. And then once the metal hits it, it kind of sticks to it because it's damp. So I did do that. After that, I did vacuum out the head, but I'm sure some stuff that I missed. So I'm going to be getting the oil and filter changed on that, which once again is not a cheap process, especially when you just put it in there. But I ordered it in a 5-gallon pail to try to save some money. I end up weighing my oil in. I don't have an oil stick because it can blow out. So be getting that there done. Next on the snowball is going to be to do the rims on it, the rims, and also a boost controller setup. I'm going to be doing a cheap manipulator. Let's see, it's like a 2-stage setup. I'm going to be wiring it up on the let me cut my light on here. Shout out to Gil, man. That's why I rock that zero, man. Give it arenas. Let's see, this joint here. So dual stage boost controller, pretty cheap, and I don't know, as far as for what I tested it, I bench tested. As far as like the clicks are pretty accurate. So it's like if 2 clicks are 5, 4 clicks are 10. So it has 2 stages. On this setup here, I'm doing a CO2 boost controller, so I can only get double my spring rate. Okay, so typically 10-pound spring, I can get about 8, maybe 9 pounds of boost, somewhere in that ballpark, right? And then it starts to open the gate. Good size motor, so at 8 pounds of boost, it only wants to do like, I don't know, 6,000. It really doesn't want to go over 6,000. You get what I'm saying? And then it's like, I guess it's not like linear. I want to say it's the right word. I can run, even with the CO2 on top of it, I'm only getting like 18 pounds. I'm only getting 18, 19 pounds. I think I seen 20 here and there when I'm actually letting off of the throttle. I can see 20 pounds. So I'm only getting double my spring rate. At that point, it's like I can make it to the shift point of 7,000, but it really wants to rev out to 75 or 8,000, and I can just see it on the I can see it on the Dragy. Shout out 1320 and their Dragy. I can see it on the Dragy where it's doing this here with the G's, like it's hitting the gate, and the car wants to continue to pull, but it's not enough air there for the car to continue to pull, and because it's not enough air, it doesn't, I guess it doesn't just start dumping fuel, it just limits itself and it stops pulling G's. Even though like on the big end, the bigger cubic inch will start to pull really, really hard. So I have to fix that situation. I guess if it was like a small block car or even like a slick car, it's like it would leave out of the hole so fast, it wouldn't really matter. But in a situation to where I have to creep out of the hole on a hard tire, it's really, really detrimental to my program right now to actually get out there, and then I can't keep, it's like it pulls extremely hard and then it kind of levels off and then it starts bumping the wastegate and it starts doing this here. It's still mile per hour, but it's not pulling nearly as hard as it should. So that's the situation I gotta do with that. I always told people, I was like, oh, I just put my stuff in the tune. I don't have a scramble button. I'm going to hook this up. I believe I'm gonna hook it up like a scramble button. That's what I'm thinking. It's 2 stages, so I might can run the first stage like a boost controller. I have a boost reference in here, and I can go in the computer and set it to where, hey, it hits X amount of boost, and then it sends out a ground signal. So once it hits this amount of boost, I can tell it to send out a ground signal. It can send out the ground signal that can get me up to 25, and then if I'm feeling froggy, I'll run it up to 30. I know there's people out there running 60 pounds of boost. I'm not interested in that. I'm gonna do like 25, 30 pounds of boost, and I'm checking it up at that. If I can't run what I want to run from there, that's it on that. That's it on that. So gonna be getting the rim swapped out, oil and filter changed on this. I'm waiting to see if my oil comes or if I need to order it from somewhere else. I might have some more Pengrade. I might look that up. See if I got some pen in the shop. So I'm waiting to do that because Friday is going to be, I think, like 24 degrees. So I want to be able to run it, and I don't have any more Pengrade. So I'm going to have to wait for my other oil to come. It's going to be like 20 degrees, and it really doesn't get like that cold in the shop. So if it's like 20 degrees outside, it might still be like 40 degrees on the inside of the shop. But it's like, I'm not taking that chance at all. I've known people to lose blocks, lose heads, playing around with the cold water. It's like, I'm not doing that. I want to run my stuff. I'm going to have to show my tester too. I have a tester to where real cheap testers, like $5 or $6. You can test your coolant or your antifreeze and see where the freeze protection is on it. Really, really cheap tool. You squeeze it, it sucks up some of the water, the antifreeze, and then it has a little needle in there that floats, and it'll tell you what it'll protect to. But it's like, I don't even play them games. When I see the weather getting cold, it's like, I'm gonna put heat in my motors. That's just what it is. If it's got water in it, it's running, I'm putting heat in my motors, and all my motors pretty much gone. I don't really park any of my cars outside. I've built enough shop to where I don't have to do that anymore. So that's the snowball. Been a while since I did an update, so a little long, but dang, that's why it's so cold in here. Look at this. It's freezing outside. I'm like, why is it so cold in here? I got my window up because it's like, it's honestly, it's been hot. It has. Oh, been hot. Okay, got that. We'll do that later. All right, so, twin Camaro. I think I showed the exhaust. I think I start working on the exhaust. It's kind of going down there. Let's see. You kind of can see it there. V-band going down and about to get it ready to drop. So working on this here oil drain line. Just realized I didn't have fittings. Got hose, no fittings, no bueno. Thermostat. So I'm about to start modding this here. It can't go straight down. As you can see, I cut it because it was like it continued to come out. It was way too close to the exhaust. It was going to get hot. So I'm going to put it this way. Might not look like much, but it actually, like, before I cut it off, it probably had like a centimeter in between. So I'm going to turn it this way. That'll create an inch and some change. And then I'm going to end up rolling it down. It's going to go straight down and around to get there. So about to start some fab work there. That's some of the stuff that really takes a long time. So gonna get started on that, cleaning some more stuff up under the hood. I got to do some more speed laps. I'm looking at my cameras and I'm not setting them up, but I got to do some more speed laps. Got to slim up this wiring harness, and that's pretty much looks like I guess turning the ignition on and trying everything that I need, radio, signals, HVAC, all that stuff, and then I just start snipping wires, just and if I cut something that I need, I mark that wire and say, okay, I need to come back and wire this back up to power, and pretty much get rid of the fuse box. So starting from scratch. So I will try to explain it as best I can to try to help some people out. Showing me hooking up the MSD box, wiring in the fans, fuel pump. It's going to be a 2-stage fuel pump. I had to look into the MSD. I don't think they have an RPM option on it to engage the fuel pump at a certain RPM. So I do have a couple of RPM boxes. Going to be wiring those in. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna be taking the airbag out of that dash. It's a lot of space in there. That's what I did in my other cars. I take that airbag out and I build a plate in there, and then I can get all my electronics in there. So everything can kind of be nice and neat and tucked away. Doesn't get rid of any of the your feet spacing. So also behind the glove box, it's a decent room in these cars. So that rearrange, try to mount the amps and all that good stuff. Some more patching and stuff to do on the floor. From where I did the cross member, you see I got my torque arm chained up, so I got to build the mount and stuff for it. A lot of small things that take a long time. So I'm not really big on hard deadlines. There's some events that I would like to hit, but it's like you don't want to rush trying to make a date and then you mad like, oh, I should have did this. Oh, I rushed and did this, and then you trying to enjoy an event, but yet you're working on a car because of something that you rushed through, and now it's messed up, you know. So I'm not really pushing a hard date. Would just like to see it out by the summer. It would be nice to drive the car and enjoy the convertible during the summer. Was, I guess, pretty set on paint. Just pretty set on it, I will say that. But was gonna do a wrap on the other car. Now I'm kind of strongly considering a wrap on this car. Shall see. So I'm not sure. I just feel like just paying for paint right now is a little bit like safer and less experimental. Tongue twister there. But it's something I just been wanting to try. I've been wanting to try to wrap something, so it's like I might try to wrap something small and just see how it turns out and go with it from there. But I was gonna try to wrap that's a 6th gen Camaro. That was gonna be the first one I tried, but just looking at this one here, like it's coming out first, I kind of want to try to wrap it, but we shall see. That'll be in the mix. I'll be posting some more of my exhaust as I do that fab work, as pipes and fittings and stuff comes in. It's like, well, I'm trying to jump around and work on different stuff. Just kind of get to a point on certain stuff where you kind of at a standstill, and then you have to order parts. So I guess, like, don't really just, if you're working on a project, don't get to one thing. I'm gonna say like on a full build, and then say, oh, I don't have this part. I'm just gonna stop and not look at anything else and just order this part and wait for this part to come. It's like, no, you have to jump around and figure out what else you're missing. It's a lot of parts that go into putting the car together, even just doing an engine swap, but like doing a full like drivetrain, engine, transmission, rear end, torque arm, bracing, music, complete wiring. It's a lot that's going into it right now. So I'll be getting the front and the back also buttoned up, especially once I do my radiator setup. I'll get the front on there and start looking at the transmission cooler and stuff like that, and filter and ram pipe for the turbo. Getting into all that stuff there, but that car isn't that loud with Fender exhaust, but like I said, just seeing some classes to where they want full exhaust to the back. So I was gonna put a muffler in it. I might leave that option out because like that car is already like not that loud at all, so I might can just do straight pipe all the way back, and then if it's a class that requires a muffler, I'll have it to where I can add it in without a whole lot of hassle. So some stuff there. That takes a lot of time just to try to class somewhere, but that's what we gonna do, being the Fab Man. So stay tuned. Like I said, I try to get some speed laps up, and then I'm trying to do better content. I really am. I'll try to get some speed laps up, and then also come back and voice over the speed laps so I can explain what I'm doing. So stay tuned.